Okay, we're going to do a long division here. We're going to take x squared minus 8x plus 5 and divide it by x minus 1. The first thing we do is make sure it's in standard form, descending powers of the variable x in this case, and set it up like so. So ours was in standard form, so we're ready to go. Now, to get it started, the divisor has to be in standard form also, starting with the high power down to the low, which ours is. And what you look at is x into x squared. Don't worry about the minus 1, just look at x into x squared. You can think about that like so. X into x squared is equal to an x. Now that x will come up over here. We're going to record that. Okay, so that was your first step. Second step, you want to take that x that we just found and multiply by the x minus 1, the divisor. That will be x squared minus x. Okay, now that comes over here, and we're going to subtract it. So we set it underneath here. Notice how I line up the like terms, x squared, and the x and x go here, 8x and the x here, minus 8x minus x. Now, the key here is in making sure that when you do this, you're going to subtract. Now, x squared minus x squared, most students don't have a problem with that. It becomes a 0. But negative 8x, or minus 8x, minus a negative x here is two negatives. So this is really like, you can think of it this way, negative 8x minus another negative x, like that. Think of it that way. And then this 5 here, of course, comes down. It's just a 5, because you're subtracting 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. But this is the hard part in here. This is where most students make mistakes. So this is what you have to concentrate on. It's negative 8x minus a negative x. So in other words, the minus is out here. You can think of it as being enclosed in parentheses. Minus negative x. Think of it that way. In any case, that's going to give you a negative 8 plus an x, which is a negative 7. So I'll just write that here. This is a negative 7x, and then I'll write a 5. Okay. Now, we have to continue because this is called the remainder after that first division. This second line here, this whole thing is the remainder. Now we have to repeat what we just did and divide this x into the remainder. As long as x is the same power or less up here, x minus 1, this divisor is less than this power in here, the degree of this remainder, then you can divide. So we have an x into negative 7x. That would be our next step. X divided into negative 7x. That's the same thing as negative 7. Okay, so our steps were to, I'll just write it here again. Divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, and then third step we'll do is we'll subtract. And you repeat these things as many times as you need to, these 3 steps. So we'll put it over here, the minus 7x plus a 7. And remember, we're going to subtract that. Okay, so now negative 7x minus a negative 7x, of course, is negative 7x plus 7x, which is a 0. But 5 plus 5 minus a 7 is a negative 2. At this point, we have a lower degree. This is our remainder. It has a smaller degree. Its degree is actually 0. Viewing it as a polynomial, it has degree 0. And that's less than the degree of this divisor, which was degree 1. So we know we're done. This is our remainder. We're finished. This one was the remainder for that step. This one's the remainder for the entire problem. Now we write our answer this way. By the way, this minus 7, we really should keep track of it up here. It's part of my answer. This is my first divisor, my first quotient, x, that's part of it, and this is the second quotient part is negative 7. I write that up here. So I write my full answer this way, x minus 7 minus a 2 over that divisor. So this is how I write my answer after that division. Okay, x minus 7 minus 2 over x minus 1.